The latest news on VIKTOR Gyokeres. Let's discuss this. The news from Sport Witness. Arsenal are very close to signing VIKTOR Gyokeres from Sporting CP, with only financial details holding up the transfer. Now, they say only financial details, though I think that is the most complicated thing in terms of that deal anyway. So the only add on because that's the most complicated thing. So I wouldn't really go as far as saying very, very close, because financial is the most difficult thing, because they want more than is it someone actually corrected me the other day, something to do with the pounds and stuff. It's actually less than 90 million if you look at it.
It's 85 million pounds. It's 85
million pounds. So around just like 100 million euros. That is. So it will got you 100 million euros, but only 85 million pounds. So I think that's the biggest stumbling block. So I don't think it's only financial details. If you had already finished the financial details and you're only trying to sort out wages, maybe in terms of him and not the transfer fee, then maybe it could have been easier. But in terms of Gyokeres, now he had a very good season. I think 58 goal contributions is crazy. 43 goals, 15 assists. There's first of all, do you think it's a lucky season? Before you answer that question, I'll bring for you stats, because those numbers are incredible, assists and goals, but people are saying it was just one season to Sporting, whatever, it's not really done it. So I'll bring for you the stats, but I want you to answer that question first. Like, do you think it's a lucky season? Do you think it's like in his career he'll never really like replicate those kind of numbers? Or do you think it players like Odegaard, he can even double that?
Lucky season happens when you're playing with a set of crap players and you stand out, and you are, you don't have the circumstances to replicate what you've done. What VIKTOR Gyokeres found at Sporting Lisbon. By the way, we had played Sporting Lisbon before Gyokeres signed for them, right?
Yeah.
And Sporting Lisbon had knocked out Arsenal out of the Europa League at our own ground in a season where Arsenal were the most improved team in Europe, apart from Sporting. And we were humiliated by Sporting, right? But what we saw in that Sporting side was, one, they had a very, very organized manager in Ruben Amorim. They had a very good, they still have a very good back line in Inacio, Diamonde, a couple of other players I don't remember. They have a very good midfield, right? The likes of Pedro Goncalves. They have, I don't think that Sporting have fallen from heaven as a miracle. This is a work in progress. And they scouted VIKTOR Gyokeres, and they have looked at him for quite some time, and they've said they've taken probably 5 months or 3 months on this striker, and they're saying with Pedro Goncalves making these runs, with Marcus Edwards making these runs and creating these chances, we need to bring in a player like VIKTOR Gyokeres. He's going to work for us. They brought him in, and he's worked for them, and he scored lots of goals. That is how a proper team works. Are Arsenal a proper team? Do we have a proper system? Do we have proper management? Are we one of the best run clubs in the world? Yes, we are. So if Arsenal are saying, we do not see Gyokeres fit into our season, our system, well and good, don't bring him in. If Gyokeres went to Chelsea right now, whole season, I think he scores like 8 goals. If he goes to a club like Newcastle right now, whole season, he might score like 12 goals, right? If he goes to Everton, 3 to 4 goals all season, right? Yes, it's, for me, again, football and players and player profiles have changed to what you're preparing to do with that player vis-a-vis what that player can do. We've seen Kai Havertz. Like, Kai Havertz came in at Arsenal, and many people out there on Twitter and YouTube said this is wastage of money. And Mikel knew that this guy has this and these qualities for my project, and this is what I want to do with him. And we have seen it. We have seen him working. And he's done things that we never expected he would do. And some of us have done apology videos already. Some people that are shameless are still saying it won't work. It has already worked, mate. So for me, Gyokeres is not a one-season wonder. Gyokeres has had 2 seasons at the top, and he has qualities that managers are looking at, and they are saying, this guy is doing this and this, and he's just what we need. So for me, you cannot tell me, 20 goals, 1 season wonder. 15 goals, 1 season wonder. What he has done Those are not, in terms of GA, in terms of assisting, just there is no player that is assisting and scoring 50, in a season, and he's a one season wonder. That season he's had reminds us of the season Kevin De Bruyne had at Wolfsburg before he came in at Man City. He had 50 goal contributions in that season, Kevin De Bruyne. And this boy has gone and replicated that. And the disrespect on his name is disgusting, like really purely disgusting. You cannot say this guy has won Sporting the title, against Benfica and against FC Porto by contributing such amount of numbers in a well-prepared system, by the way. And you're saying he doesn't replicate that in even a much better system like Arsenal's, like Brighton's. I even reckon this guy would score the same number of goals if the opposition he goes against is weaker at a club like Brighton, because again, I think Brighton are well organized and their system is well drilled.
Yeah, so one lucky season. Well, let's find out. According to the numbers, the last 4 seasons he's been improving his numbers every single time. So if you look at this, the first season, the 2020-2021 season, that season he was on loan at Coventry. He played 34 games in all competitions. It scored 5 goals and 1 assist. Not incredible. But, he was still new in England. He'd struggle in the Championship. I mean, he had already played at Swansea. He had also struggled at Swansea before. The very next season, in the Championship, his very first full season at Coventry, he played 47 games, 18 goals and 5 assists. That is 23 goal contributions after having 6. So he improved that by a lot. And then probably people said, okay, now he probably can't do more than that he cannot do that more than that. He went on and played 50 games and he scored 22 goals. 22 goals in the 21 in the Championship is incredible numbers. Yeah. Those are very, very good numbers in the Championship. And on top of that, again, 12 assists, which shows us that, the assist that he had last season is not lucky. He can actually contribute to several seasons in a row. And then this past season, incredible. He played the games there just in terms of just league games, in terms of that graphic. So he played 34 and then 33 goals in all in the league only, or actually 58 goal contributions in all. Let's just say that because there's some numbers there that are missing. So but the two things that stand out for me there, obviously, first of all, I also look at the number of games. 47, 50.
33 goals. Wow.
The number of games he's playing, he shows that he's always available. Those numbers, you're playing 50 games, 47 games the previous season. That shows he's always available and he can play for you a full season, 38 games out of 38, even if you bring him off the bench a couple of games. Yeah. The assists, he got a whole 15 assists in all competitions this past season. And then the previous season, he had 12 for Coventry. So England and Portugal. So 2 different countries, 2 completely different leagues. But he's done it. He's done it for Coventry as well. And the kind of goals he scores, runs in behind, a couple of headers, some tap-ins, some just ferocious shots with his right foot, left foot, past the goalkeeper. Definitely not a one-season wonder. So do you think you'd go to a third league, this time the Premier League, and it would be the same for him? Once again, 38 Premier League games, 20 goals, 10 assists right away.
Well, I tell you, these days, many clubs are signing players based on prospect. Arsenal are about to do it. If we fail to get Seshko this summer, which is moved on, and we go and get him next summer, again, that is signing a prospect. Everton did it with Beto. Newcastle did it with Isak. Man United did it with Rasmus Højlund. The one thing that proven clubs want to do, you want to go and get players that have proven they have the data, they can do it. So for me, Gyokeres, right now, if you're placing bets against his failure, you are literally winning a jackpot if he fails. Not disrespect to the Portuguese league, but I think the Championship is a well-drilled, difficult league with as ridiculous games as many as, 50, 48? I don't know.
46 plus. They play another competition as well. The Carabao Cup, the FA Cup.
As compared to the Portuguese La Liga. And this guy has gone and played through the rough, the tough, championship games. And to show you that he's actually been grilled better, he almost doubles the number of goals he scored in the championship during his time in the championship. He almost doubles. For a striker to score 33 goals in 34 games, like the players we have seen do that, like they're Erling Haaland levels, they're Hurricane levels. Remember, we are talking about 21 goals. Remember, we're talking about a 20-goal striker. In the Premier League, it is still very decent to score 15 goals. And it is incredible for you to score 20 in a season. Like 20 goals in 38 games or 35, that is incredible. So, Gyokeres is a guarantee to achieve his dream of being a superstar striker. And I was asking myself, where has this guy been like for the last 4 years? Thank you so much for bringing up that credit for me, because I've just seen that he's progressed into level to level, right? And it's the same thing we've seen with players like Robert Lewandowski, starting at the age of around 21, 22, and then he progresses. By the time he's 26, he's elite. The same thing we've seen with Benzema. The same thing we've seen with with the top strikers. I don't see anyone having a good reason against him. I don't see anyone having real backing that he cannot make it. What reason? Like, forget his numbers. He can forget those numbers, come into the Premier League and just settle in as a new player, and it's gonna bang in the goals. Like, if I always say this, at Arsenal, for you to become a striker that has worked well, all you have to do is to score more goals than Chamak, Giroud, and all these. Bentner, and that is not really difficult. I mean, yes, we've had the benefit, the Van Persies, we have had the Aubameyangs, but do you think he wouldn't score more goals than Lacazette? He would score more goals than Lacazette. There's no question about that. And if you're given the same games and same opportunities with a player like Mesut Ozil, he would score more goals than Olivier Giroud. So for me, again, it's a no-brainer.
That is very interesting, because those numbers are really good. Now, even if you look at those, let's use the championship season, the 50-game one. Yeah. If he came to Arsenal and played, okay, because it's a lot of games. Let's use the one for the Sporting one, the most recent one. If he came to Arsenal and scored half of those goals, let's say 17, and then he also chipped in with half assists, 5 or 6. That's 23 goal contributions or something. And if you go with some numbers are missing there in terms of, I think they're missing out the cup competitions or something, because he had 58 goal contributions. If he comes to Arsenal and has 29 goal contributions, that's you'd take that, right?
Yeah.
Half, you would take that. So that shows you that caliber of play is becoming. His numbers are improving every single time. And considering just in 2020, the COVID season, he only had 5 goals and 1 assist. I'm pretty sure at that time the Coventry fans were like, nah, this is not the guy. But he went in and banged in numbers for them. And he went to a different country. Probably people said, nah, if he worked in the championship, he's not going to work in the top 6 league, like in Portugal or whatever. He's not going to work there. But he went and he scored goals once again. Now, I don't think, for me, he was my first choice in terms of all the strikers we were linked to. I was like, this guy, get him. And for that 85 million pounds, Cozy, I would actually take him.
I mean, I'll tell you, the only reason why I wouldn't pay as much, there are 2 reasons. One, I think because he's had that really, really top season, you just wouldn't want to blindly pay that much.
Knee injury as well.
That knee injury as well. But also, that knee injury, he picked up during the season and he played with it until the end. That is something that Saka's done. That is something that Rice does. That is
still
something
managed to get 58 goal contributions.
Yeah. Secondly, the main reason why I wouldn't pay 85 million, it's not because I don't believe in him. It's because I believe Sporting Lisbon will budge. They will reduce on that asking price. They will 100% reduce. I think they're looking at everyone on the market and they're like, well, we thought everyone was going to want a striker. What's going on? Why isn't anyone? I mean, by now we should have seen 4 or 5 strikers off the market. And many of the clubs are saying, no, we don't want to pay 60 million for Tony. No, we don't want to pay 100 million for Osimhen. So I won't be surprised for them to go. He's had 50 goal contributions. This season is the best to sell. Anyone with 70 million, hello? Does anyone have 70 million? And this is a deal again that I would not expect a bidding war, but we would just wake up like the Darwin Nunes deal, and yeah, it's done.
Having a proper striker like that, imagine he comes to Arsenal and he doubles his numbers like last season, like he had doubled from Coventry to Sporting. He comes to Arsenal and doubles that and gets 66 goals. Like that's crazy. His numbers are really good, and the kind of finishes he has, as I've said, different finishes. And as you said,
and the games that Arsenal want him for: Aston Villa at home last season, Aston Villa away last season. When those chances come, please don't use excuses of the pitch. Don't use excuses of the rain, Ty and Lee Judges. We don't have a number 9 that buries those chances. Simple.
So I think this is crap, what they said. Sporting will remain firm on the valuation of Arsenal target VIKTOR Gyokeres with the intention of selling other first-team stars this summer instead. So you think they will budge eventually?
VIKTOR Gyokeres is 25 at the moment, soon turning 26, right? The rest of the players that are marketable for them are 23, 24, 22. Which one would you love to sell, quickly? A player in his profile, a player that you're going to raise good money for. Goncalo is now CEO. People are going to want, clubs are going to want to give you 50 million euros or 45 million euros. Pedro Goncalves, 35 million euros to 40 million euros.
Osman Diamonde still there?
Yeah, Marcus Edward is there. Who else? Who else is there? Osman Diamonde, again, maybe 40 million euros to 60 million euros. This is the guy that you're getting to get 70 million pounds concrete money. Like, this is the guy they are going to sell. I won't be surprised. Let someone just knock on their door with a hammer, they will open up.